to talk to you about why I think Homer Hickam is an interesting and inspirational man. I feel like a large portion of people haven't heard about him. I know that I didn't hear about him until I watched the movie October Sky, which is based on the true events that took place in his life around the time he was in high school. I also firmly believe that more people should read about Homer's life story. The man has published many books, and he's a pretty interesting guy himself. Homer Hickam is a man of humble beginnings. Born on February 19th, 1943, in Colwood, West Virginia, it seemed like his future was already planned out. Colwood was known for its rich mining history. The mine employed almost all the men in the town, and it was expected that whenever high school boys graduated, they would go work in the mine as well. Homer's father was a superintendent at the mine, and he spent most of his time there instead of at home. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union launched a space probe known as Sputnik 1. This satellite was the first man-made satellite to successfully orbit the Earth. Sputnik took about 98 minutes to complete an orbit around the Earth. It was on this night that Homer's obsession with space and rocketry began. He saw the satellite and knew, right then, that he wanted to accomplish a whole lot more than working in a coal mine for the rest of his life. Homer wanted to leave Colwood and make something of himself. He decided that he wanted to work for NASA. He became obsessed with rockets, studying them and reading about them whenever he could. He began to speak of rockets with his friends, and a few of them joined him in his quest to build rockets. At first, the rockets were not very good or safe, as Homer's backyard fence was blown up in one of their launches. But eventually, he and his friends got pretty good at building rockets. They formed a group, and they called themselves the Big Creek Missile Agency. And to say that the boys had hearty support from the parents and the rest of the town would be a bit of a stretch. A lot of people thought the boys would blow themselves up or cause destruction to property. A lot of the naysayers were silenced, however, after one of the rockets they made flew over a mile into the air. One of the few supporters they did have was their teacher, Frida Riley. She thought that the boys were really smart and that they should enter their rockets into the county science fair. Hickam's design won the fair, and he qualified for the National Science Fair, where he eventually won and got to speak with his idol, Werner von Braun, a German rocket scientist. Because he won the science fair, lots of colleges started to look at him, and Virginia Tech University offered him a scholarship. Hickam would attend college there, and he would eventually graduate with a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering in 1964. After college, Hickam joined the Army, where he served as first lieutenant in the 4th Infantry Division in Vietnam in 1967-1968. He won the Army Commendation and Bronze Star medals. He served 6 years on active duty, and he left the service with the rank of captain. Hickam worked for the U.S. Missile Command in both Germany and in Huntsville, Alabama from 1971 to 1981. He then went to work for the National Aeronautic and Space Administration, or NASA, at Marshall Space Flight Center as an aerospace engineer. While at NASA, he worked in propulsion, spacecraft design, and crew training. Hickam eventually rose to the rank of payload training manager for the International Space Station before his retirement in 1998. Homer currently lives in Huntsville, Alabama with his wife, Linda. To conclude, Homer Hickam proved that with hard work and determination, anything is possible. He was determined to get into NASA, and he did. It was not an easy feat, but it was definitely worth it as he lived a long and interesting life, and that is why I chose to pay tribute to him. I hope you all learned something, and thank you for listening.